Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. It's that time of the month. My favorite 5 fragrances for the month of July 2017. So of course, you know, I love my Chanels and we're going to have a couple of Chanels here as well. Let's begin with Cuir de Russie. I already had the Cuir de Russie Eau de Toilette as my favorite for the month of June. A lot of people love to use this in winter. I love to use it in summer, and particularly June, July. I don't know what it is about it, but it reminds me of my past. It also reminds me of Paris. I mean, you can check my review of this one in the description box down below. It reminds me of humidity and warmth at the same time. It's not the type of fragrance that really keeps me warm in winter. It's more something that in the heat and in the summer kind of cools me down in a very sexy way because there's that hint of leather in there. It's one of the softest leathers I know. Now, Cuir d'Ange from Hermès is actually the softest leather, kind of conceptually speaking, that I know. But this one is soft as well in its own way. And powdery a little bit as well. So it's like a leather that keeps you fresh in the heat. I find it extremely sophisticated in summer, even though most people prefer to use it in winter. Anyway, next one is Dolce Gabbana Pour Homme, the first formulation, the made in Italy from Euritalia. The company that used to produce it is called Euritalia. Afterwards, Procter & Gamble took it over. Now Shiseido's taking it over. I'm really looking forward to the reformulation that Shiseido is going to bring to the table. I love my Dolce Gabbana Eau de Toilette first formulation. It's just so sublime. It has nothing to do with the current formulation you can find from Procter & Gamble, the made in UK or made in Germany versions you could find in shops. Light years away. Oh, this is so majestic. So majestic. So this one, all day, you know, I use it in the morning, in the evening, it don't matter really. It's just so clean, but deep at the same time. And it makes me really happy. It's also, it reminds you automatically of the 90s and how amazing the 90s were fashion-wise. And Dolce Gabbana had some incredible styles back in the 90s. What they're doing now is a different story. Let's not get into that. But even fragrance-wise, I don't really care for their perfumes nowadays. But this one takes the cake for me still today. Dolce Gabbana Eau de Toilette Pour Homme, first formulation. Number 22. Oh my God, Chanel number 22. The Eau de Toilette. This one is a creamy, majestic... It's the queen of Chanel perfumes. I mean, if number 5 were to be the queen or the king, this would be... Don't get the Eau de Parfum. If you have a chance, get the Eau de Toilette or get the old, you know, Eau de Colognes, get the Pure Parfum. Eau de Colognes are not in production since many years now anymore. The Eau de Cologne of number 22. But, oh my God. This one is such a misunderstood fragrance. It hasn't been given the right, you know, space. It hasn't been given the right marketing. It hasn't been given any marketing, really, outside of the United States after its kind of global release in the 20s. It deserves so much more attention and love. It's an incredible fragrance. So magnetic, powerful, delicate at the same time. It's great for summer. It's great for winter. A lot of people love to use it for weddings. I get it. You know why? It's not just like some cliche of, oh yeah, it's great for a wedding, but it's because it grounds you. It literally manages to create an aura around you of like a perimeter of grounded sobriety of beauty and aesthetics. It's just so calculated, poised, but powerful. And it manages to contain itself. You know, it's a beast in a way, but with poise and elegance. It never goes ratchet on you, it never goes ghetto on you, like some fragrances can. This one is just so beautiful. It calms me, it makes me feel good, it elevates my spirit and my soul. I have this next to my bed, so sometimes in the evenings, even like before going to bed, I would go for this one, not just 28 La Pausa, which is something I love to smell before I go to bed in general. Then moving on, we have Christian Dior, my douchebag perfume. You could check out the review of my Dior SAUVAGE fragrance in the description box down below, and then you'll understand more why I called it the douchebag perfume. I go into detail in the description, in the review. I have a love-hate relationship with this one. Right now, summer in the evenings after it rains only. That's my tip to you. That's how I wear it. If it's humid outside, the temperature drops because it's evening. We're in summer and the heat is kind of gone. The rain washes away the heat. There's a bit of humidity left. The temperature drops a couple of grades. That's the best moment for Sauvage Eau de Toilette. And again, the opening is mesmerizing and then the dry down sucks. But that's why I kind of like to wear it after the rain in the evenings in summer, because the humidity kind of tends to wash off the nasty dry down. Nasty for me, some people might love it. I just don't like the dry down. So I don't sense the dry down as much, but I love those top notes. I love that one night stand with the douchebag. That's Sauvage. And we're going to be ending it with my number 5 favorite. My 5th favorite for July is Cristalle Eau de Toilette by Chanel. I have the current formulation. I know, the 70s version of Cristalle Eau de Toilette was majestic. This is a toned down version of it. It's kind of a shadow of its own self, but it's still amazing. I still love this current formulation. It doesn't cut you as a crystal like kind of the 70s one would. It was a bit more, I don't want to say green. It was greenish. This one, the moss and all that stuff is gone. We have kind of substitutes for everything in here. But I have that cyclamine kind of vibe in it. And I mentioned that in the review of this one. You could check the review. Also in the description box down below. But I love it. It literally, I'm going to actually, I'm going to wear it now. It's green. Opening notes. It's alcoholic. I don't know. I just really, really like it. It's not so easy to describe. A fragrance that's called Cristalle, it's like a crystal. They wanted to give it the smell of a crystal, but of course crystals don't have a smell. So you have to kind of envision everything as a sort of, everything blends in together. If a crystal could melt, it would melt into Cristalle. And then that kind of liquid crystal would become, the Chanel perfumers would scent it, and they scented it majestically. And this one was the last fragrance I think that Henri Robert made, or wait, was it? No, Jacques Polge made the Eau de Parfum reformulation of Cristalle. So in fact, if you want the original, if you want to get as close as you can to the original Cristalle, you have to get the Eau de Toilette, because the Eau de Parfum was developed by another perfumer. So Jacques Polge created the Eau de Parfum. A lot of people love it. I go to the roots. I go back to the roots. I go back to the original. And look, almost half the bottle is already gone. Badge code for this one, can't even see really, 8201. So it's a relatively new bottle. I'm loving it. These would be my top 5 for July. July is a weird month, as you could see. There's warm fragrances and cool fragrances. And this is due to the fact that July is a month that for people who travel a lot, you're going to encounter, if you go to Australia right now, it's winter. And then, in the northern hemisphere of the globe, it's summer. In some countries, summer can be cooler than in other countries. And if you're in Iceland, it's not going to be as hot as if you were in Texas. So that's why July for me is kind of the month of summer. And yet from the 21st of June onwards, the days start getting shorter. Alas, we're close to Christmas. I'm dreading the moment when winter kicks in. But July is kind of a tricky month. It's summer, and yet the days are getting shorter. It's actually the end of summer. To me, summer is more like May, June, and then the 21st of June is like the end of summer, actually. So to me, this should be the beginning of fall and autumn. Just psychologically thinking, because the days are getting shorter and you feel it. By the end of August already, you really feel that those days are much shorter. So I kind of have in the back of my mind the idea of autumn coming already, even though it's still hot. But some summer nights can be very cool or cold and damp. And so that all of that kind of mixed together adds up to these 5 fragrances. That's why we have the Cuir de Russie, the number 22, with more warmer hues. And then we have these kind of crystalline abstract concoctions like Cristalle, which adapts perfectly to heat and to cold weather, and actually could tickle out different smells and ingredients and nuances of this fragrance if you use it in winter as juxtaposed to summer. So that's also something very interesting to note when you're dealing with Cristalle. And then, of course, Dolce Gabbana. I'm smelling Cristalle now, which is amazing, but this one is just a soothing, calming, grounding fragrance as well. And something, you know, I've been mentioning the word grounded also with number 22 in this video, because July, more than any other month, I think, is a month where you kind of start preparing yourself for the cooler months. You start grounding yourself. Maybe you don't do it like actively, consciously, but subconsciously you're doing it for sure. So guys, that would be it. Those would be my top 5 fragrances for the month of July. I hope you like this video. If you have, please do thumb it up. Let me know what your 5 best fragrances and most used fragrances for the month of July are or will be in the comment section down below. If you haven't already but do wish to, please consider subscribing to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So guys, no matter how you smell, as long as you pick out the perfume for yourself and the smell is clean, we're not talking not showering for 2 months here. We never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.